Hello there guys, welcome to another of my videos. So, just want to give you some news regarding Jadon Sancho. Then I'm going to be talking with you a bit about Paul Pogba. I think a bit later on I will be giving you my starting 11 prediction ahead of our game against FC Copenhagen tomorrow in the Europa League quarter final. So, the news regarding Jadon Sancho is that Jadon Sancho expects to make a move to Manchester United in this summer transfer window. Now, I think it's very imperative that we sign Jadon Sancho because, like I've said, he will dramatically improve Manchester United. His runs on and off the ball are very, very good. He's predominantly a right winger, and his friendship's also very, very good with Marcus Rashford. And he is, of course, well proven in the Premier League because Sancho did endure 2 years with Manchester City before he was at Dortmund. But the main explanation why he left Manchester City is because he did not get assured any first team opportunities. Now, we have to sign Jadon Sancho by tomorrow. You know the situation, because Borussia Dortmund set their deadline for the sale of Jadon Sancho. So he said, for a while we've got until the 10th of August to sign the player, and the 10th of August is tomorrow. Now, throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, Borussia Dortmund have remained ruthless over their valuation. Borussia Dortmund have said several times that they want over £100 million for Sancho. We have said several times we are not willing to meet what Borussia Dortmund are demanding. Now, obviously Borussia Dortmund's valuation is £108 million. Obviously, Borussia Dortmund are looking for around £90 million up front. Obviously, if this was to be paid, Sancho would be our most expensive signing and the most expensive English player in history. But Borussia Dortmund's asking price is the stumbling block because we've said we only want to pay around 60 or 70 million pounds up front with around maybe 40 odd million pound in add-ons. But Fabrizio Romero, who's a very reliable Italian journalist, he came out last week and said that Sancho's agreed personal terms with Manchester United. And it said, Sancho's set to sign a 5-year contract with a football club worth around £340,000 a week. But no fee has yet come to an agreement. It did say from the German press yesterday, I think it was Bild, and they said that Borussia Dortmund are preparing to hand Jadon Sancho a new contract if we do not meet their valuation by tomorrow. Reportedly, Dortmund have offered him around 173 grand a week, so he will get actually a pay rise. As it stands at the moment, Sancho's got a contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2022. We have already made a promise to the player that we are willing to give him the number 7. That's the shirt he will be wearing more than likely if we sign him, because he'll fulfill number 7 well. And as you all know, we have got number 7 vacant at the moment, but we have had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. As far as I'm aware, Sancho does still want to come to Manchester United. We have been looking at a few alternatives to Sancho, because I will make an admission, there is cheaper solutions in him. Obviously, we recently looked at Federico Chiesa from Fiorentina. We looked at Robbie Matondo from Schalke before. We also looked at Thiago Almeida. We looked at Ferran Torres from Valencia. We looked at Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona. We recently inquired about Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich. Saying that, we're interested in getting him in on loan if we don't get Sancho on the board. But I think Borussia Dortmund have come to accept the fact that actually Sancho does want to leave. So obviously they've been in the market, looking for replacements for him. Dortmund have recently been looking at Memphis Depay from Lyon. They've recently been looking at Jonathan Eacock from Lille. And there was also looking at Rashika from Werder Bremen. But like I said to you, it's very imperative that we get him on the board, Sancho. Sancho's enjoyed 3 good years with Dortmund. I think his stats have been very, very impressive this season. He scored like 20 goals and provided 20 assists in like 40 odd games in all competitions. Dortmund got him for next to nothing, Dortmund only paid £8 million for him from Man City, but analysing his performances in the few years he's been with Dortmund, his valuation has persistently grown. But Borussia Dortmund's CEO, don't forget, did recently deny that Man United were in advanced talks to sign Sancho. Don't forget there were stories coming out last week saying that Sancho's deal to Manchester United could be off. And he said recently talks have broken down. Main explanation is Borussia Dortmund's asking price. That's what it is, you see. But like I said, Borussia Dortmund have let quite a few of their players go in recent years. A lot of their players have gone to the Premier League. There's some players who haven't, of course, gone to the Premier League. I think recently as well, Jadon Sancho's been in a WhatsApp group with some of our players. But we're the only club that are definitely in for him now, because Liverpool are no longer in for him. Chelsea are no longer in for him. So we will see what happens. But, I presume that more things will update regarding Jadon Sancho today. But we'll know by tomorrow, obviously, if he's coming to Manchester United or not. Because Dortmund do fly out to Switzerland next week for pre-season, don't they? They fly out for pre-season. They go to Switzerland, yeah. So that is the news regarding Sancho. Now, let me give you some news on Paul Pogba. So, Ole Gunnar Solsjaker has come out and said that Paul Pogba will stay at Manchester United and he will sign a new contract at the football club. Solskjaer has been talking a lot about Paul Pogba's future recently, saying that, he's going to be part of the team, for years to come. Obviously, Fabrizio Romero, he came out recently and spoken about Pogba, and he says that Pogba is happy to stay at Manchester United, and he did say that he expects Man United to enter negotiations with Pogba's agent Mino Raiola over, getting him a new contract. I expect Paul Pogba to probably sign a 4 or a 5 year deal at the football club. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's just got under a year left on his Manchester United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. His current salary at the moment is like 300 grand a week, Pogba's, or is it just under £300,000 a week? Obviously, he's our most expensive sign at the moment is Pogba as well, because we did pay £89 million for him from Juventus back in 2016. Like I said, throughout the course of the Premier League season, didn't really have a perception on Pogba, because don't forget he had that ankle injury for the vast majority of this season. He did okay towards the end of the season. Pogba did put some good performances out. He did score in the Villa game. That was Paul Pogba's first goal for Man United since April 2019. But Pogba there again, sustained quite a few injuries as a Man United player. And I think, as well, reflecting on the impact that Bruno Fernandes has made, I think that is convincing Paul Pogba to stay at the club, because I think his combination with Bruno Fernandes Pogba has been absolutely fantastic. It really, really has. I think us getting qualification for the Champions League also plays a part in Pogba wanting to stay at the club, because if we didn't get Champions League qualification, then there could have been still a slight possible chance that Pogba could have still left the club. At one point, though, it was looking very, very imminent that Pogba was going to be leaving Manchester United, because obviously last summer he was relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid, and Pogba did say last summer he wanted to leave Manchester United because he was seeking for a new challenge, and he even publicly admitted that he wanted to leave the club. There was also a lot of narratives about Pogba going back to Juventus. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus. PSG, Barcelona and Inter Milan were also interested in him before. But we're getting this new long-term contract, like I mentioned. It will end the uncertainty over his future. It really, really will. Don't forget, we had Paul Pogba when he was a lot younger. under Alex Ferguson, but due to limited appearances, we had to let him go. And don't forget, Man United did let him go on a free transfer to Juventus. Paul Pogba at the football club has won 2 trophies. He won the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season back, didn't he? But he has had some good games as a Manchester United player. And obviously, Solskjaer has got a lot of time for Pogba because he knows Pogba well, obviously, because he's an admirer of Pogba. And I think he watched, Pogba grow and develop as well. So I think he has, got a lot of time for him. Obviously, Pogba enjoyed a very, very difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era. But there again, all the top players at the club enjoyed a difficult time under the Mourinho era because now, obviously, Mourinho's got a bad reputation with the top players, Pogba had problems under Mourinho, Martial did, Luke Shaw did, Rashford even did. I think even Fred had problems under him. But yeah, so I can definitely assure now that Paul Pogba will be staying at the football club. But I did say to since the turn of the year, we've been very, very critical of his agent, Mini Raiola, because at the turn of the year, some of the comments he said, obviously, Manchester United did not like. But at least in the last couple of years, Mini Raiola has been in the process of trying to get Paul Pogba move away from Manchester United completed. So anyway, that is the breaking news on that. Solskjaer, expects Pogba to stay at the football club. Obviously, there's a lot of players on Manchester United's agenda. Obviously, if we sign Jadon Sancho, we need more than Sancho. Jadon Sancho isn't going to be enough for us, to challenge for the league or win the league and that. I think we probably need to make 3 more signings if we do complete the signing of Jadon Sancho. Obviously, the likes of Grealish has been in our agenda, but I'm going to fully disregard Jack Grealish coming to Manchester United. I think he's going to end up staying at Villa for next season. Because obviously, Aston Villa survived relegation. If Villa had gone down, then my perception would have been different. I think he would have left Aston Villa if they'd have gone down, definitely. And not only that, I just think Grealish is too much money. Villa remain ruthless over the valuation. They've said, they want £80 million for Grealish. Obviously, Grealish is one of our priority targets, don't forget. But I don't think, we're going to get him on the board. It did recently say that Aston Villa had offered Grealish a new contract worth $100,000 a week, and it said it was a 2-year deal. Obviously, there were stories coming out regarding Raul Jimenez the other week from Wolves, saying that allegedly he was on his way to Man United and that, because allegedly Wolves had found a replacement for him, and that was Paulinho from Braga for around 27 million. That particular story turned out not to be true regarding Jimenez coming to Man United. Donny van der Beek, there's still a lot of stories coming out saying that, Man United are the favourites to sign him. So there is a lot of players on our agenda, because I think Solskjaer has obviously said he wants to make at least 3 signings in this summer transfer window. Obviously, he's already outlined his transfer plans. I think he outlined his transfer plans after the game against Leicester, and he's obviously instructed our board to go and get his preferred targets. But I think, we can recruit well in this summer transfer window, because obviously we got qualification for the Champions League, and I did say, didn't I, how important Champions League was for our players, attracting players, and for the financial structure. And I think we got an extra £70 million in revenue for getting qualification for the Champions League. Obviously, as well, we finished 3rd. I think that was a fantastic achievement. Also progressed to the EFL Cup semi-final. Also progressed to the FA Cup semi-final. Now we are into the quarterfinals of the Europa League. So you've got to say it's a very, very good season for Man United and Solskjaer. Yeah, it was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at the football club. I said, didn't I, next season is the big test for Solskjaer, because next season he's going to have big expectations to exceed, and obviously he's got to exceed his expectations to remain in the Man United job. And next season is his 2nd full season at the football club. But early on in the season, don't forget, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. At that point, Solskjaer was under serious pressure at the club. He was close to getting sacked by Manchester United. And I thought, he would have been sacked. But I give you the main explanations why he didn't get sacked. I give you the main explanations, didn't I? But earlier on in the season, how poor we was, you wouldn't have even thought we'd have finished in the top 10. And I'm just delighted that Solskjaer proved his critics wrong. He proved his critics wrong, yeah. And like I said, I was very, very critical of Solskjaer earlier on in the season, and so too were a lot of Manchester United fans. But I always said, didn't I, I want his managerial tenure at the football club to work out. I really, really do, because I love him a lot. He's a club legend. He was a great player for the football club for 11 years. So this is why I do want it to work out under him. And Solskjaer's now been at Manchester United over a year and a half. But I did say, didn't I, even if we hadn't got qualification for the Champions League, I still said, he would have been here for next season. Because I said he does deserve at least another season, because it is a transition period, and it has been a transition period for a while. And he's still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team. Don't get me wrong, I've definitely seen improvements under Solskjaer. Like I said, our recruitment's really, really improved under him. We've extended a lot of players' contracts since he came in as well. We've still got around, 7 or 8 players' contracts that are due to expire next year, so we've got to make a decision on those 7 or 8 players. Also, too, Solskjaer's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into the football club. That's also positive. I think throughout the course of this season, he has promoted the youth very, very well. Our record against the top 6 sides has been very, very good. But we've seen an upturn in form since January. Because, we haven't lost in the league since January. And that's when, we got beat by Burnley at Old Trafford 2-0. But now, we're unbeaten in our last 14 league games. I think there's aspects of our game that have definitely improved, but I still think, we need to see improvements. I think we need to keep the ball better, we need to look more expansive. Our football needs to look more expansive. We need to look better on the flanks. I think we need to be slightly more clinical in front of goal. I think defensively, we've also got to improve. But don't forget as well, went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions until Chelsea beating us in the FA Cup semi-final. But I think now Solskjaer at the football club, knows his best 11, and he also knows his best formation. He's obviously, made a lot of rotation throughout the course of the season, but that's obviously, reflected on the injuries that Man United have had. Don't forget there was one period where Solskjaer went with the exact same team. He did that for 5 Premier League games in a row, and that's the first time we've done that since February 1993. But like I said, during this Europa League campaign, Solskjaer's obviously going to make rotation. He obviously made a lot of changes in the game against Lask. He made 9 changes from the 2-0 win against Leicester. But I think he only made a couple of changes from the first leg against Lask. But like I said, we're into the Europa League quarterfinals, which is very, very good. It is our 26th European quarterfinal, and we're looking to reach our second European semi-final since Alex Ferguson's retirement. We are the favourites to win the Europa League. I want us to win the Europa League because if we do, it will be our first trophy under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and our first trophy in over 3 years. So I really, really want Manchester United to win the Europa League. We did win it back in 2017 under the Jose Mourinho era. We beat Ajax in the final by 2-0. But yeah, like I mentioned, be interesting to see who we recommend in this summer transfer window. Obviously, Solskjaer's already identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. We have got around £140 million to spend. That's our transfer budget. But obviously, if we get Sancho, then the vast majority of that money will be gone. But we're not only going to focus on the incomings in this summer transfer window. We're also going to focus on the outgoings as well. I expect Man United to get rid of around 6 or 7 players at least in this summer transfer window. I think we're going to get rid of Jesse Lingard or try to. Don't forget, recently it said we've put Jesse Lingard up for sale. Diego Dalot, I expect him to leave the football club. Diego Dalot's only made 11 appearances for Man United in all competitions this season, and he only made, I think, one start, but he had back-to-back injuries earlier on in the season, did Diego Dalot, but I expect him to definitely go. Everton believe they can get him for around £10 million. We did get Diego Dalot in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. We paid £19 million for him from Porto, and he's got a contract with us till 2023. I expect us to get rid of Rojo permanently. Don't forget he's been out on loan at Estudiantes. Don't forget he recently had a private chat with Ole Gunnar Solsjaker. Smalling, we know that's obviously Smalling's now staying at the club because he's returned, so we won't be getting rid of him. Jones, I expect Man United to get rid of Phil Jones because Phil Jones doesn't get in the team a lot now anyway, and don't forget he has recently been out with injury. Eric Bailly, some United fans will say we need to get rid of him because obviously he isn't getting in the team enough because Lindelof's there ahead of him. And plus Bailly's very, very injury prone. Recent stories came out and said that we'd offered AC Milan the chance to sign Eric Bailly. This has been Eric Bailly's fourth season at the club. We did get him from Villarreal back in 2016. We paid £30 million for him. But obviously, Bailly got a bad injury in pre-season last summer, didn't he, in the summer 2019. And he had a knee injury and he was out for a while. He was out till February, came back, put some good performances in, and then obviously got that head injury in the game against Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final. Andres Pereira, he's another player I expect to go. Well, I want him to leave the football club because I don't think he's good enough to represent Man United, and I don't think he gets in the team enough anyway. Some Man United fans will say probably Juan Mata needs to lead the football club in this summer transfer window. Juan Mata, like I said, he doesn't get a lot of chances, but when he does, he does still make a fantastic impact. He did very, very well in the last game recently. Started the game, he got both assists for both goals, did Juan Mata. This has been his sixth season at Man United. We paid just under £40 million in from Chelsea back in 2014. But I think he's had a good career at the football club. So yeah, we're going to sell players in this summer transfer window. I believe we're also going to loan some players out as well. By the way, we're not going to be offloading any players under the age of 19. That's been confirmed by Ole Gunnar Solsjaker as well. But James Garner, there was talks about obviously him going out on loan. I think there was talks about Dylan Levitt going out on loan as well. Obviously, there's been talks about Tahith Chong going out on loan. He recently said that Werder Bremen are interested in getting him on loan. Tahith Chong doesn't get in the team enough. Some United fans will say we need to loan Tuanzebe and Fossa Mensah out. Daniel James, if we do sign Sancho, then I expect Daniel James to go out on loan because I don't think Daniel James is going to get in the team enough now. As you all saw towards the end of the Premier League season, Daniel James weren't getting starts. Mason Greenwood was getting there ahead of him. Solskjaer's obviously got a goalkeeping decision to make. I think for next season, Solskjaer's got to put Dean Henderson as number one. Whether he does or not, I don't know. But Solskjaer did recently say that Dean Henderson's not yet ready to become Manchester United's number one goalkeeper. I think we've recently been in talks with Dean Henderson's agent over getting Dean Henderson a new deal at the club. We've offered Dean Henderson around £60,000 a week. So that increases his wages by like 5 times. But he needs to be our number one, and plus we'll save money. There's no point buying a goalkeeper when we can put Dean Henderson as number one. Dean Henderson's enjoyed 2 successful loans with Sheffield United. And I think he has been Sheffield United's player of the season. And Dean Henderson's still got a contract with us at the moment, his current one until 2022. I'm still hearing stories like, Chelsea want to get Dean Henderson. But De Gea has been our number one for several years, but I don't think he's not good. He's not good enough now, to be our number one. Like I said, De Gea has been a long servant at the club. This was his 9th season at Man United. He is now approaching his 10th year at the club. He's had 7 good years out of the 9 years he's been here because he has been liability in the last couple of years, reflecting on the calamitous mistakes he's made. De Gea has made 404 appearances for Man United in all competitions, and 300 of those appearances have come in the Premier League. De Gea has won everything domestically at the football club, reflect on his good run of performances over the years, and he has won individual awards, etc., etc. But some United fans will say we need to sell him in this summer transfer window, because if we did sell him in this summer transfer window, we'd probably get around £60 million for him. We paid just over £18 million in from Atletico Madrid back in 2011. But when De Gea does leave Manchester United anyway, I think he'll go back to Spain. Definitely. Because back in 2015, he was very, very close to joining Real Madrid, but due to a fax machine, the deal never materialised. But I don't think we won't sell De Gea in this summer transfer window. Sergio Romero, if Dean Henderson does get recalled back and he doesn't leave Man United, then obviously he will be our third choice goalkeeper, Romero. He does play in the cup games. I heard recently that Leeds were interested in him. We'd probably demand around £5 or £6 million from Romero. I think Romero's got a year left on his current contract at Man United, but there's an option of a further year and that. So goalkeeper decision does need to be made. We have got a few injuries at the moment. We've only got 3 injuries now, I think, and that is Luke Shaw. He's obviously out with an ankle injury. He's going to be out until next season. My only element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he's injury prone, but prior to that, very, very good left back. Tuanzebe is out of injury. He's not going to be back in until the new season. Phil Jones is out, but I think Phil Jones is close to recovering now, so could be involved throughout this Europa League campaign. The good news is as well regarding Lindelof and Delors, they've recently been training with the first team, which is obviously very, very good. Because Delors wasn't even part of the squad for the game against Lask recently. And that. But like I said on my next video, I'll be giving you my starting 11 prediction for the game against Copenhagen. I also presume as well Solsjaker will be doing a press conference today ahead of the game. So I will be giving you my reaction to that as well. And yeah, so I still don't know if Solskjaer's a foreseeable future for Man United. Time will tell. Time will tell. But I'm hopeful that we can win a title under him. I really, really am. If we could do this, it would be our 21st title in total. Because as it stands at the moment, we've won 20 titles and 13 of them are Premier League. So as it stands at the moment, we are the most successful team in Premier League history. But, we have not won the Premier League since 2013. So we haven't won it for like 7 years now. But like I said, in the last 7 years, Man United have been playing catch-up. Obviously, we've had different managers with different philosophies. Obviously, they haven't been the right managers for Man United. That's the main explanation why they've been sacked. Moyes wasn't good enough, Van Gaal wasn't good enough, and Jose Mourinho wasn't good enough. Obviously, we spent £900 million on players as well since Ferguson left. We've got players on big contracts at the football club. We've recruited a good 32, 33 players since Ferguson left in all the managerial areas, and that includes who we've brought in so far under Solskjaer. Well, yeah, I think, we are getting there. But so far at the football club, Solskjaer has made 4 permanent signings, and he's spent just over £200 million on these 4 permanent signings. Well, we got 5 players in because obviously, we got Agallo on loan, but we did make, 4 permanent signings. So this summer transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. And it has been open over a week now as this transfer window, and we've already seen signings that have been made. But yeah. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.